Alright, now we're going to take a look at bonding and friction. So here I have a part for 3D print. It's ABS plastic, and you can see that when I spin this around, there's not enough friction. Even though these are very tight fitting, these are always going to come loose over time because the friction is going to make it wear down. Okay, so I need an agent that I could put in here, kind of like grease but in reverse. Okay, so anti-grease. Well, they don't sell anti-grease. If they did, that would be kind of cool. But they do sell other things, like let's say hot melt glue. Now, hot melt glue, if you use the standard stick, well, it doesn't really work all that well with ABS. As far as like ABS, this, you can actually peel it off the surface quite easily. This is really good for just about everything else on the planet, but on ABS, it doesn't adhere. I want something to bond to it. Okay, well, there is another fabric sticks. Okay, so what I did is you go out and you buy a whole bunch of weird stuff and you put it together and see what works. I fell in love with this product, SureBonder fabric sticks. Okay, now what I like about it, it bonds to ABS. I mean, you cannot rip it off the ABS for anything, and it's kind of rubbery even after it dries. So that's what I've been doing now. Okay, not a lot of friction there. Okay, let's pour some of this into the joint. Before it dries, go like this and just rotate it around a little bit. Now it's going to get hard to rotate it first. It's going to get a little easier. Just don't let it dry to itself, which it doesn't really do too well anyway. So that's a good thing about this product also. And you just keep turning it. There we go. So now it has a sufficient amount of friction. It's not totally stuck. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for the application. And if you take this off, you see that it's bonded to the part where I put it. And it's like anti-grease. So I've been playing around this with the past day or so, just making sure that it actually works before I release it and release the information, and it works really well. I mean, I can have my action figure stand up quite well because of the friction level. Now I want to give you another tip. So surface blending. So here, like, I get these two surfaces that meet, and what I want to do is clean this up. So I'll give you another tip. Okay, so another product I love, Gorilla Super Glue. Okay, some super glues don't actually bond to the surface of ABS plastic. This stuff, yeah, good luck ripping those two surfaces apart. What I would do is sort of clean up around this area. Nobody will ever know that you have fabric glue on the inside of this thing. That stuff doesn't go well with sandpaper though. And just put a little bit of this. Try to get it around the outside edge. Because you're just going to sand it off anyway. Perfect. And this stuff dries wicked fast too. So make sure you have your alignment. Make sure you can still spin it And it's already setting up quite nicely. So every once in a while, just make sure you can spin it and you didn't get any of this stuff inside that joint. What's nice about the fabric glue is it almost acts as like a way of protecting that joint area too. Okay, while that's drying, I'm also going to apply a little bit of this to this crack that's already been there. Okay, so I'm just going to push some of the super glue into that crack. This, I'm going to use my finger. I know this becomes one of those, hey, don't get this on your skin, but we all know when nobody's looking, we do a lot of goofy stuff. So that's probably not good for you, but check label. Okay, so now, before all that really dries, I'm going to just buff out the surface. So what happens here is the dust from the ABS gets down into the joint and adheres to the super glue, and then it causes the seam to magically go away. So now I have the friction, and I have the seam blending. And if you look at my review of, I think it's an ABS renewing spray, it's a product by Fazpar. You'll see that between that and you just spray it on top of this, all this goes away too. So you don't see any sanding whatsoever on the surface. So there's some tips if you're building the action figure that I've been using, and so far, amazing. Alright, so enjoy.